Welcome, everybody. This is episode 4 of the Underdeveloped podcast. Welcome, everyone. So this week in gamer news, we've got some big hits in the past 48 hours. A lot of major computer companies will not ship to California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, or British Columbia. That's due to
Yikes.
So some US states and Canada, or Canadian states inclusive, have new power regulations for PCs and monitors, and a lot of Dell's computers and Alienware computers didn't actually meet those power consumption standards. They took too much power, and so you can't actually buy those computers in those states now.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's
like
weird.
if you had an order already coming, that order has now been cancelled and it will be shipped back to the warehouse. And you'll get refunded.
Is that really like the biggest problem?
Well, apparently computers, like home computers and monitors, account for 3% of America's total energy consumption.
Shit. All right.
So when you think about that, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
I suppose.
3% of the total. That's including stuff like businesses, lights in your house, everything. It's 3% of the total. That's actually a fair amount.
Yeah. Surely there's like a good 60% just used by like factories and that though.
Oh, surely.
Isn't that the real problem?
I think the real problem is that they don't actually care about the power consumption. It's more about the image that it presents.
Yeah, probably. It's usually the way.
Yeah. But we've got some new game releases coming out in August and September. We have
Ooh.
Humankind being released on August 17th by Sega. That will be
I
on...
thought that came out about 60 million years ago or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it came out ages ago, but I googled new releases in August, and sure enough, Humankind coming out on August 17th on Google Stadia, Mac, and PC.
Dope. Well, I mean, I can offer some early insight, it's an early review for that.
Yeah,
because I've been playing it for 21 years. It's kind of overrated.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Humankind is a little bit overrated. You know, humans are a
Yeah.
bit of a dick, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm more going in the direction of Neanderthal kind. That was a better prequel.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
way better.
I was thinking kind of like a Return to Monkey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Or even
like a
just-
Planet of the Apes type deal. I reckon that'd be pretty dope.
I want to be the intermediate between the fish going to walking on land, just some I want to be that intermediate where it's just malformed, can't really swim, can't really walk, so it's just kind of fucked. That's where I want to be.
So you're just kind of like this big ass iguana thing that's sort of suffering wherever it goes.
Yeah, that sounds way more interesting. I want to play that.
That would make life interesting, I guess.
Make it fucking horrible.
It'd be fucking terrible, but at least it'd be interesting. I guess.
Interesting, yeah.
So we also have
Alright.
Rims Racing from Nacon and Big Ben Interactive coming out on August 19th on the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Windows PC, and Xbox One and Series X. So if you have any of those consoles and like motorcycle racing, then you go for it. August 19th.
Hell yeah. If it's anything like the old MX vs ATV games, I used to fucking love those.
They were
Just do
so good.
The open world, and you try and parkour up on weird shit with your bikes.
You just try
It was
and
a good time.
You just try and do cool tricks off of random shit.
Yeah, I don't even actually do the races. I just fucked around. That was the best part.
That was the best part. I love how a lot of open world games, the best part isn't actually the part that they want you to play. It's just making up your own part.
Oh yeah, it's always the best time. It's like
Alright.
GTA Online. The best
Yeah.
part is not the actual game. It's just fucking about in the free mode.
Yeah, Like, who actually plays the GTA Online for the GTA story? Come on. I just want you to think about that for a second.
I mean, if they added a skip cutscenes button, that would be 0.
Yeah.
No one would be.
No one would play it. All right, so we also have Kena, Bridge of Spirits by Ember Lab LLC, coming out on the 24th of August for PS4, PS5, and the PC. I don't know too much about it. It looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of Raya, the Last Dragon, if you saw that movie.
Oh, the Disney one?
Yeah, the Disney one.
Yeah, no, I did get a chance to watch it.
Sounds cool. I actually liked it. Like, I've always hated kids' movies, but I really liked Raya. It was a nice even medium between shitty adult movies and shitty kids' movies. It was a decent medium. And finally, this was a big one, so I included it in this week's. Life is Strange True Colors by Square Enix comes out on the 10th of September for PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox Series 1, or Xbox One and Series X, and Google Stadia. So if you care about empathy, then that's the game for you, where the superpowers have become more and more boring.
I really like Life is Strange, and for the wrong reasons.
Why do you like it?
This YouTuber I watched once, I think his name was Punk Doug.
Yep.
He played it, and he called it, he streamed it, and he called it Life is Cringe, and every time something cringe happened, he drank, and he'd just be absolutely sloshed by the end of it. And I want to play it, just doing that. That'd be great. Just stream it to my mates in Discord or something.
That'd be pretty good. I reckon you'd get kicked off of Twitch pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So those are the upcoming releases. And you've heard us mention Google Stadia a few times. From what I've gathered about it, it's kind of like Netflix, but for video games. So it's like a streaming service, but for games, but it's not very well executed.
No.
It's
if half the world can't use it, it's not exactly ideal, right?
And if you're wondering about Google Stadia, there's a list of countries here. So we have the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Denmark, Norway, Finland, Belgium, Ireland, the Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, and Hungary. So if you heard your country there, you can play Google Stadia. But I can't play it in Australia because they don't like us. Google doesn't like Australia, even though their entire Southern Hemisphere operating centre is being moved to Adelaide next year.
Oh.
Yeah. They advertised that at uni. Like, as the IT specialists, they like advertised it to us exclusively. It was pretty cool.
You'd think they'd have a little bit of a bias towards Down Under, then, you'd think.
Yeah, like this is Google Stadia. Surely, like, one of Google's main offices being moved to Adelaide, you'd at least get some sort of compatibility, but no. We don't get anything. I tried to log in and it said this service is not available in your country. That's it.
Oh well. I think it's one of those things that's just kind of released too early.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of underdeveloped.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. Yeah, well, it's Microsoft has been doing the same thing, right? They announced it when, like, the Xbox One was announced. So that's, like, fucking yonks ago now, right?
Yeah, that was a big...
They've been working on game streaming for that long. And they've just recently, probably 6 months to a year ago now, released, like, preview access to their game streaming thing.
Yeah.
And as someone with dog shit internet, it works surprisingly well.
Did it
I got
really?
into the beta. Yeah, it is super good. And I feel like that's what Stadia was striving for, but they just didn't develop it enough. Like Microsoft
Yeah.
put like something I'm whipping this number out of the air, but something like 10 years into it. I highly doubt Stadia was considered that long, judging from the controller.
Quality.
Have you seen the controller?
No, I haven't.
It looks
I
shit.
only learnt Google Stadia existed like 3 hours ago when I was doing research.
Yeah, no, like it's not great. It is very flat. It doesn't look ergonomic at all.
Oh, so it
It
just kind of like
looks-
sits in your hand like a brick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah. I'm sure it's one game streaming is going to be super big in the future. Like
Oh, yeah.
if they keep developing it and if, the world's standard of internet gets better, then out the window go bloody consoles, PCs, whatever. You're playing it on your phone connected to a TV now.
Yeah, and
But there's no reason not to.
Yeah, and that also links into like the California energy consumption thing. Like you
There
won't
you go.
need to run your own PC if all you're running is your phone and your TV, because you're Chromecasting your phone to your TV while playing, I don't know, Cyberpunk. Like that's
It's eco-friendly as well.
it's eco-friendly. It's just that is something that we should definitely look further into instead of beefing up home PCs. Because let's face it, who has the time and money to buy $5,000 worth of computer parts and then put it together in their spare time, only to play video games for a few minutes and then suddenly have to go back to work because they sold their kidney to buy the PC?
Dude, I don't know. I need that 3090 to play League of Legends, bro.
I need that 3090 so I can finally run AI simulations so I can build my own chess bot.
Sounds kind of cringe, bro. I'm gonna go back to Minecraft.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I'm convinced the cause of this Californian thing is probably just Bitcoin miners or cryptocurrency miners, should I say?
Yeah.
Like it because they have warehouses full of bloody 3090s or whatever.
How
That's
I'm
gonna
fairly
be the
sure
issue.
I'm fairly sure that like crypto miners like collectively took up, I think it was something massive like 2.3 terawatts of electricity last year.
Fuck.
I'm
I
not
don't even know what that
entirely-
means, and it sounds like a lot.
I'm not entirely sure of the exact number, but I'm fairly sure it was in the terawatts of electricity that
Yikes.
consumed just mining Bitcoin. That's not including Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, all the other ones that you can mine. That's just
All the bullshit.
that's so much electricity. Like you think
Yikes.
about your average household. All right, on average, my house uses about, I think it's about 30 kilowatt hours of electricity a day. And
Okay.
that's with 5 people living in it. So 5 kilowatt hours, then you've got megawatts, then you've got gigawatts, then you've got terawatts.
Oh shit. All right.
So
Yeah.
if you're going by the killer mega, conversion rate, so you've got 1,000 kilowatts to a megawatt, 1,000 megawatts to a gigawatt, and 1,000 gigawatts to a terawatt. That's a lot of electricity.
Yeah, just a tad bit.
That's
Shit.
a little bit of electricity. I might be able to run my fridge with that.
I think that's where the problem is. They need to regulate that shit.
They definitely need to regulate that shit properly instead of cutting gamers out of buying a budget PC because they can't afford to buy the parts themselves.
Yeah. It's this whole like cryptocurrency, like just factories of like 3090s, just shitloads of video cards and that. It makes me think of, have you ever played Gary's mod Dark RP?
I have not. I've never played Gary's mod.
No?
I always wanted to, but I could never
You've
afford
never
it.
played Gary's mod.
When I wanted to buy it, I couldn't afford it, and now that I can afford it, I just don't see the appeal because no one plays it anymore.
That's fair. But there's this thing on Gary's mod called Dark IP, and it's basically like the idea is you go into this RP server, you choose like a job or something. You can be a gun dealer, you can be a bloody policeman, you can be whatever. Yep. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. But generally, everyone just goes to being some like little hobo that lives in a hole somewhere and just buys money printers. And just, you get shitloads and shitloads of money printers, and then they start heating up because they're all in like the proximity of each other, and then start catching fire, and the police are like, where are these explosions coming from? And then they come and find you, and you're just sitting in this hole full of money printers on fire. That's what I imagine the crypto factory's like. It's just some dude like who hasn't showered in weeks.
That like, actually sounds pretty accurate.
He's running around a factory just trying to keep the temperature of these things decent so they don't blow up.
Well, an interesting thing about some crypto companies, that's right, there's crypto mining companies.
Oh. Shit.
They like people actually like the medical industry actually reached out to them to run simulations on their hardware. And I can't remember which company it was, but they donated 2 of their warehouses, which in total was generating a fuckload of money for them. They donated them to COVID-19 research. Those Jesus. Absolute giga-chads. So that's big ups sick. To them.
Well, that up goes my respect for crypto miners.
Only a little bit, because there was a Chinese company that refused that. They refused to give up any of their resources, and it was like the 2nd largest crypto mining rig in the world.
Yikes.
Yeah, big yikes.
I'm getting real like Ready Player One vibes from this situation. Like the companies entering into it. Yeah,
like you watch, there'll be like this one guy who bought like an extra 3090 so he can mine Bitcoin while he sleeps and then run his server during the day. And then you've got this crypto giant company with like 800 3090s and a personal hookup with like Nvidia, just supplying them more every week. Like it's just
well, they just rock up at his door, beat him up and steal his card.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What are you going to do? Complain to the police? We own the police. We pay them in Bitcoin. Or we pay them in Dogecoin.
I can't believe the price of Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Ethereum, and every cryptocurrency over the past month is down. Almost zero cryptocurrencies are positive. And actually, Dogecoin is half of its original price.
Really?
It is half of the price that I bought it for. So, living the dream. 155 Australian dollars down the shitter. I have
only 155.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I also bought Cardano.
I cries and my lost Bitcoin money.
Yeah. I mean, Bitcoin went down from what was it, like $45,000 to $30,000?
It was up to 80. And it went back down to like 30.
I don't remember its peak, but I'm fairly sure I can check right now with Kraken. I wish they sponsored us, because I use Kraken quite a lot.
I was watching it for a while, and it hit 80, and then it dropped back down to 30, and I lost a lot of money. Ouch.
Alright, let's check. They've just changed all their shit. There you go. So Bitcoin is sitting at $40,000 right now.
Yep.
So there's that.
Well,
but I can
back to its
see its massive dip. And yeah, it's not looking too hot.
Damn, dude.
All right, so on to the topics of this week's podcast. What makes a world feel alive to you? So, like, when you're playing a game, what makes the world feel more alive? Like, there's other things going on inside this world.
Yeah. You'd think the prime example would be like a Bethesda game, right?
Yeah.
Well,
they try to emulate that stuff.
yeah,
They
I
don't
would
do
agree
too
if it wasn't for the jankiness, I would agree. But what's yeah, no, things that make a world feel alive. I think just like little details, all right?
Yeah. So
Like
if
the very
you add like tiny details. So like economy wise, like you'd add like a slightly fluctuating economy, like something's worth more because this guy has more, or so on and so forth.
I mean, possibly, yeah. Like if there's something that's always in like if it's always dynamic, then that just feels more natural, right? What I was thinking was like if you go into just some like room that you're not really meant to go into, and it's just kind of bare.
Yeah.
It's just a reminder that this is a video game. Like they didn't put stuff here because it didn't need to be here. It's not a world that survives outside of your view. It is a world made for exactly your view and just your view.
Yeah.
So it's why that would be the part of the Bethesda games that is really good with that for me, because there is just so much detail in every nook and cranny.
Yeah, they do put a lot of detail into things, but I feel like they should put less detail into, having each house, like, furnished and everything, and put more detail into the polish of the game and making sure it's functional.
Oh, yeah, they should stop getting the interns to make games on bloody 20-year-old engines. Fallout 76.
Yeah. I was so hopeful for that game.
That's how it goes.
I
remember sitting there watching the reveal, and I'm like, yes, like it's the perfect time span. Like, for the exact time that pretty similar time from Fallout 4 to Fallout 76 was the same amount of time from Fallout 3 to New Vegas. Yeah. And I was like, fuck yes, we're gonna get the New Vegas equivalent of Fallout 4. Like, they're gonna have some other company that's more competent at making their games than they are take their spin on the Fallout 4 formula. I was so keen for that, and then they're like, open the MMO, and I just kind of fell asleep in my chair like in that second.
Yeah, a lot of the spins, so to speak, that they put on it is actually pretty shit. Like, they're not really listening to what their audience wants. They're listening to what their investors want, and not the people that are actually going to play and quote-unquote enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Who the fuck enjoyed Fallout 76? Who sat there
see people
and played the game from start to finish and enjoyed it?
I've seen a fair few people who do like it.
Really?
But I think it's the real diehard Fallout fans though.
Yeah, I could
if
see
you're
that, actually.
if you're just like a fan of Fallout, then it's not going to appeal to you. I don't know. It very much appeals to those people who see. I don't know who it appeals to. It's so strange. Like, it tries to be this casual MMO, and then it has these other things like sicknesses and that, and it's like, which one are you trying to be, like hardcore or casual? I can't tell.
I just don't think the words casual and MMO just sort of fit together. Because an MMO, you need to put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. But then with casual, it's like, oh yeah, I can just play it, every few days, play it for an hour here or there, and it's not going to matter too much. But like MMO, you need to put in that effort, otherwise you're going to be left in the dust, and then some random guy who sweated the game for 85 hours is just going to rip your butthole to shreds. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, no, that's like that's definitely the way. Because I tried earlier on in the year, like, all right, I've seen people enjoying this. There must be something good about it. So I tried getting into it, and it felt like I was just overshadowed by all the bloody top players the whole time. I'd spend like 15 minutes capturing this one location, then some dude walks in with like 200 levels above me, smacks me once, and then I die, and he takes my shit.
Yeah,
like, cool,
that,
real good.
Yeah, super well developed game, guys. The casual MMO you see.
Love it.
All right, so
yeah,
back
so
to making a world that feels alive. It's just the little details that sort of make it so like it's not just a video game, but it's also an experience.
yeah, and it's definitely having things react to your actions, like a big thing that made Breath of the Wild feel dead was you'd finish the game and then it just loads a previous save. Like, no, like you could have kept that going, have some NPCs be like, oh, congrats Link on doing your shit. Like that makes it feel so much more alive. But there's like it doesn't only have to be in like NPCs and that. Just have the world react to things. If you had a mission where you, I don't know, blew up something, have it so you can go back to the wreckage. Oh, this is what happens. I did this. That it feels like a real world.
Yeah.
To like, more of an extent.
Was it Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum that had like the whole drained lake filled with Psyducks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did that, and like you can revisit that location after the game's finished. And like you just sort of, or like after you've beaten the Elite Four, you can go back and then just be like, oh wow, this lake is still not a lake anymore. It's just a puddle with a whole bunch of Psyducks.
Yeah, that's something I really liked about the older Pokemon games, because the newer ones are pretty linear, right? You go to the end, you're done. Maybe there's a bit of post-game, cool. But the other ones, you could go back, walk around the world, find something new every time you played. I probably played Diamond for like a couple years, just on and off. I just kept walking around the world. I'd never look up anything. I'd figure out everything for myself. I'd find it. Oh, wow, there's this boat that goes to another island. I had no idea. Like, there's this bloody... What's his name? The dark dude with the dreams and shit?
Oh,
Darkrai?
Yeah, Darkrai.
Yeah, there's that whole thing, and then there's this other whole thing, and... of course, some things you need to find ways to get into those events because they'd be like locked by certain things, right? Where you had to, like, there'd be something where you'd have to go to EB Games on a certain day and connect to their Wi-Fi, and you'd get a Pokemon or something.
Oh fuck! I tried so hard to figure out like which day and which EB Games that I had to actually go to. Like, I tried so hard to figure that, like, all their little Easter eggs and shit out on my own, but I just couldn't.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids who did that sort of content probably found other ways to do it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they just, like, GPS spoofed and...
Yeah, because there's no way I'm getting to Japan and going to McDonald's in the whatever it is district to catch a Pokemon.
Like
I can't remember what exactly it was, but it's stuff that just kind of wasn't possible when you let alone can't drive yourself around, right?
Yeah, and other things that Game Freak did that I actually really liked with Pokemon was that they added like side game, like mini games inside of their game. So like in Pokemon, I think it was Pokemon Platinum, there was like a whole beauty pageant arc where you could just go and play like beauty pageants. You could go and play the slot machine and be a gambling addict. there was so much other shit that you could do in the game that made it more than just, oh, I beat the game. there's nothing for me to do now.
The amount of time I spent on the pokey pokies.
Oh, the
Holy
pokey
shit.
pokies.
The pokey pokies, mate. Or pokies for short.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's good shit.
I'm fairly sure the only time I ever used the pokey pokies, I won the jackpot and then said, oh, cool, I won the jackpot. And then I left with, like, my wallet completely maxed out. It was pretty cool. Like, I don't know how rare that is, or if, like, every player gets that one really good one and then they just get nothing from there on out. Or if I just got super lucky and RNGesus to the first shot.
I remember I just won a bunch of money, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make an Ultra Ball collection. And I just bought so many Ultra Balls. Like, I had... whatever the limit was that you could have Ultra Balls, it was probably 999 or something.
I think it was 99, but it could be 999.
I bought them legitimately. I think it was 999. I could be wrong, but it felt like a lot more at the time. Yeah, that was a dumb waste of money. I also used my Master Ball on a unknown.
Which, really?
Yeah, because it came up and I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Like, it must be a super rare Pokemon. Master Ball. Dumbass.
That's so rough.
Yikes, dude.
I never actually used my Master Ball in Platinum. I still have my Master Ball to this day.
No.
I actually caught my what's his name? Giratina. That's the one. I caught Giratina with a Great Ball. Not an Ultra Ball, a Great Ball.
As you do.
I don't know how I did it either. I didn't really understand how to play Pokemon at the time. I just thought, this guy looks cool.
I'll try this.
Let's see if I can catch him. Great Ball.
Jesus. Yeah, no, I always save the Master Balls, other than that one time I caught the unknown for the legendary Pokemon. Because I was just... I didn't think it was possible with the other ones. But, yeah, you can get lucky for a Pokeball. But, yeah, back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic.
we keep going on nostalgia rants, dude.
So making a world feel alive. So now we know what makes a world feel alive. It's the attention to detail in the surroundings. All right?
Yeah, because there's only as far you can only get so far with NPCs, right?
Yeah. You need to actually add stuff for the NPCs to do. Like, they're not going to walk into a building and the building's just an empty box.
Yeah, but they're also not going to be like Cyberpunk was pitched. God, we keep going back to Cyberpunk. But it is a good example because in their trailers they were like, oh, each character...
Each NPC has a job.
They go to a job, then they stay there 9 to 5, then they go home, or they go to parties or whatever. Like, no, that's not going to happen. That's like, too much computing power.
That would kill Google's like server room.
Yeah,
like
the original concept of Cyberpunk.
All right, so
yeah.
How would you add life to a world that you feel doesn't have any? So how would you inject life into a sort of stale world that doesn't have anything? If you could do one thing. Like, how would you... Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind is just having things be interactable. Like, if there's a pile of rubbish on the ground, you walk up to the rubbish, you kick the rubbish bags around. Like, just by stepping in them.
Yeah.
Just simple things. There's so many simple things you can do to just make things reactive to the player.
So making the world reactive to what the player does is what you would add to a game that just has no real life to it. Like, it's still a good game, but there's no semblance of having the world alive around you.
Yeah, I think that's like a good blanket term for it. Like, you could do that in a lot of ways. Just have things
Yeah.
react to the player.
I think that's actually a pretty good way of injecting life into it. The way I would do it, and this is super boring, and in game design, this is real fucking shitty to do. Having an in-game economy that reacts with the player.
Okay.
So, like, say you have a coin economy. Having that coin economy fluctuate with buying items. Like, if you go to one merchant and then buy 500 medium potions, and then you go to another merchant and he doesn't have any, you can sell those 500 medium potions to that merchant, and then he'll have 500 and the other guy will have 500 more, and you can buy them for this price and then sell them, but as you sell them the price kind of goes down, so like it kind of reacts with like supply and demand.
Okay.
So like having
one game that does that. Sorry, go on.
No, you go on.
I was gonna say one game that does that. No Man's Sky. That actually has a pretty, I want to say, complex economy system, but it can very easily be abused.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to one system, buy them entirely out of like oxygen and carbon or whatever, and then go to another one and just sell it off or something for way more. I can't remember how exactly you do it, but you could just get through the game by doing that, buying them for dirt cheap and then selling it for like millions of dollars.
Okay, so that's having a really complex economy, for me at least, adds a lot to the game. Like, and
yeah, I can see that.
Over the past 2 weeks, I've actually been designing my own in-game economy, and that shit sucks.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
tell
painful
you.
stuff. Spreadsheets galore.
I've been looking at the same Excel spreadsheet for about 3 weeks, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and the numbers just get more and more confusing.
Yeah.
And then when your boss comes to you and says, "Oh yeah, let's have a mission system where you get rewarded with coins or items," it goes, "Cool. Now I have to factor that in as well, which means I have to change the price of everything else because coins will be less valuable because there's going to be more of them." Great. Let's just throw the last 3 weeks of work out the window and start again.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I hate most. Like, just Excel spreadsheets and all that crap. Like,
as much as I hate making Excel spreadsheets, making an economy without them would be 10 times harder.
Oh yeah, it's the amount of, like, because it's a form of testing, right? If you set it up all correctly, you can test how it works before you go to all the effort of making it and then having to change it and then having to change it and then having to change it. Like,
yeah,
it's definitely easier to do things on paper in the long term, but I am so like ADD when it comes to these sort of things. I will just go and make it and then figure it out. It's not the way to do it, but yeah, my attention span is terrible.
Yeah, my attention span's awful as well. I'm trying to not go in and develop it and then figure out the values afterwards, because the programmer I'm working with has said, yeah, if you just like give me all of the values, I can program that into the game super easy. And I go, okay, cool. Now I have to actually go and do it. Now I don't get to do the fun part. Damn. I just get to look at the spreadsheet for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and cry myself to sleep.
Welcome to game design. Yeah.
But don't worry, there are still fun parts in game design for all you prospectuous game designers.
Oh yeah, it's not that bad.
Especially seeing your economy that you cried over in action.
Oh, like that. When you like struggle over something for so long and then it finally like works, the amount of satisfaction that comes out of that, it's like, holy shit. For the game I'm working on for YouTube, actually,
yeah,
Yesterday I finally fixed the ragdolls. The ragdolls just were getting worse and worse with every change I made. They were just going more crazy, stretching out everywhere. It was like, it's like I removed like a minus from one line and then changed the value to like 10% of what it was, and that fixed it.
I love when the solutions to really funny problems are just so simple.
Yeah. I was actually just like kicking myself over it. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. Of course that's how it goes.
Like, something that I found really, really funny was when we worked on Ancient Swarm. And for those of you who don't know, Google Ancient Swarm. Ancient Swarm on itch.io. The best game you'll ever play in your life. It was developed by me and Dylan and a talented team of artists and programmers. No big deal. Only one, what was it? Best major production or something?
Yeah. No, we got an award for it because it was a student game for where we were studying, and no, I was super stoked about that. Fuck yeah.
I didn't actually think we were gonna win. And then they said it, and we were both like, what the fuck do we do? Do we go up there? Do we sort of stand up and sort of take a bow?
I was not expecting it at all, because there were so many like other cool games.
Yeah.
And, like, while I thought ours was cool, it was of course like, you know, the bias of like the creator looking at his creation, where it's like, yeah.
As like, much as I loved developing Ancient Swarm, I actually hate playing it.
You hate playing it?
I cannot play Ancient Swarm because I look at it and see, I could have done that better. I need to fix that bug. Oh shit, this isn't working, so I gotta go in and fix that. And I just ruin the experience for myself.
Yeah,
I know how everything looks behind the scenes, so I can't just be like, oh wow, this is a cool fun game.
Yeah, I feel like for developers, it's so hard to come out of that like just development mindset if they're playing their game. Because that's what I do as well. Like my mind just glosses over all the good things in it and sees all the bugs in that, and I'm like, I need to fix that. But you know, it's too late. The game's been out for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
Like, I fix it and no one sees it. It's not going to be worth my time.
Yeah, I do wanna go back and add some more stuff to Ancient Swarm, but I just don't have the time these days. Like, I really want to add some more stuff to it.
I wouldn't mind tweaking the like the wave system a bit, because at times it's just like nothing around.
Yeah, that's just the spawning mechanic. It just sort of chooses every open room and spawns things there instead of in a proximity around the player. Yeah,
and we did have a system originally where it was like it spawned everything in rooms adjacent to the player, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened there. I think it was
a miscommunication. I think we can chalk it up to.
I think it was one of the last minute sort of things when we were testing it, and there was just so much to account for, and then it's just sort of like slipped under the rug.
Yeah, well, the adjacent rooms thing was actually changed because we had a whole bunch of enemies spawning in unopened rooms because they were the next room going on, like when you're playing, and you haven't unlocked it yet.
Okay.
And so you'd get stuck and you'd have to restart because an enemy was in the room on the other side of the door.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. No, that was a big issue for a while.
I think that's still an issue, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it can happen. Which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But yeah, it's a student project. Like, of course, it's not going to be perfect. But I'm pretty proud of what we did.
I'm really proud of it.
Especially,
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, you go on.
I was gonna say, yeah. Like, we didn't spend that long on it. Like, we probably had 3-4 months, right?
We had from the end of July until November. The end of November.
Okay. Okay, well, we had a lot of time on it.
It
but yeah, that was
team of 6, and end of July.
2 to 3 days a week.
Yeah,
it was so
20 hours a week of straight development. it was a big undertaking for us students. Back to
It's a good experience.
It was a great experience. Going back to talking about in-game economies. The in-game economy, when we made Ancient Swarm, we had absolutely no clue what to do. Like, obviously we knew how to design the economy, but we didn't know...
Putting pen to paper, yeah.
Yeah, putting pen to paper was the easy bit, and then putting that into an actual game was a whole nother thing. Like, on paper, some values look really good. But when you actually play through the game, you realize, oh, I don't actually need to do anything. I can just use my pistol and one-shot everything up to round 40. So that has to be changed.
Yeah, there's a lot of testing involved. One important thing to note is economy isn't just... Like, when you say economy in terms of game design, it isn't just, like, money or currency in games.
Oh, yeah.
It's your health, it's ammo, it's damage of weapons versus the health of enemies. It's all the numbers, basically. Yeah. It's all the stats, all the boring shit behind the flashy stuff.
Yeah. Like,
it is very important.
You have to factor in... the economy does include coins, but it includes how much damage you do versus the coins, and then you have to weigh up, is this weapon for 1,000 coins roughly equal to this weapon for 1,000 coins, or is weapon A just so much more better that no one's even going to look at weapon B, and so you've wasted your time manufacturing it?
Yeah, like a good example of when like economies fail is like when a specific weapon in a game is overpowered or underpowered.
Yeah.
Like, then maybe the economy needs to be tweaked so that that weapon is more on par with other things, if that's the aim. If it's like Counter-Strike, where of course the pistols aren't supposed to be as powerful as AKs or whatever, then yeah, it makes sense for them to be less powerful.
Yeah, but... and a great example of the in-game economy actually failing Counter-Strike was when they first released the R8 revolver.
Oh yeah,
that was the R8 revolver. For those of you who don't know, was as good as the most expensive weapon in the game, but it was $800.
Yeah,
you could buy it on round 2. Like, think about that for a second. You could buy it on round 2, and it was just as good as the $4,750 weapon that you could only buy after saving for like 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, I like how we're not counting the DAC. That's not in the game. That's not real.
No one likes the DAC. no one actually uses the DAC past silver.
Yeah,
come on.
No way. No, it's just so disrespectful.
I hate the DAC so much. It's such a silver weapon.
I like it because, like, eventually when you're just absolutely, like, railing an enemy team, they'll just buy a DAC just in spite of you, and then you'll kill them and take their DAC and use it against them because it's like, yeah, you stooped that low. All right. Okay. I'm going to show you how it is.
And not only do they buy the DAC and then fail to use it, they then cry about you using the DAC because you picked it up.
Yeah. Oh, it's always interesting. Every game.
Yeah.
You always get some kind of character.
Yeah, Counter-Strike's the Wild West of video games.
Like sometimes you
get really good, and other times you get doxed.
Yeah, someone just absolutely guts you during Vertigo and makes sure you know about it, so you swear to never play Vertigo again. And
then a week later you play Vertigo again, and the same thing happens.
I still won't play Vertigo.
You don't play Vertigo anymore? That's fair. I don't play
just
Vertigo
absolutely
either.
tore into me during one game, and it was just relentless the whole game, and by the end of it I'm like, I need a 6-month break of Counter-Strike. Holy shit. And I will never play Vertigo again.
See, I was anchoring on this team once, and this guy was tearing into me, and he was only one position above me. And he was tearing into me, telling me I'm garbage at the game and I need to uninstall it. And after like 3 or 4 rounds, I was at the top of the leaderboard. And he was still tearing into me, like saying I'm shit and everything. And by the end of the game, I go, I hope you have a good day.
That's how you do it.
That's it.
How you do it.
That's how you deal with trolls. Just say, I hope you have a good day, and completely ignore them.
Hell yeah. Throw it back in their face. If they're gonna give you shit, just be like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Or in my case, I just leave the game early.
Go leave the game early and cry into your pillow for a bit.
Yeah, you know. Joke's on them, you know, they lost the player, I guess.
Yeah, but they gained the bot.
Yeah. I'm bad at Counter-Strike, I'm gonna be real. I'm dog shit.
I'm silver 1. Let's be real. I'm the lowest rank possible. I'm not even gonna deny that.
It's a good time. Sometimes. Not very often, actually. Why do I play Counter-Strike? Anyway, what were we on about?
In-game economies and how sometimes they fail and it's funny.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Bloody No Man's Sky. Just skip everything by buying and selling oxygen.
A game that did economy really well was Slime Rancher.
Yeah?
You have a set amount that each animal shit sells for. And then each day that changes based on how much you've sold. So like the rarer ones will be more expensive. And then the pink shits, they're called plorts. The pink plorts get sold for dirt cheap. And if you sell like 1,000 of the most rare one at the same time, then you're not going to be able to sell them for as much the following day or even the following week in game, because they have a massive supply of them and the price goes down. So that's one way that supply and demand was added into a game really nicely, that I feel.
Yeah, that's interesting. One way where it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, just adding real world economic situations into video games can make it feel a lot better, but is an absolute hellish nightmare for the developers.
Oh yeah. Some games it just doesn't need it, right?
No.
Some games you want it to be more of a set thing because it works better throughout the rest of the economy.
Yeah.
But one where it kind of failed would be GTA Online. While it works, well, yeah, because the game started off and you have to do all these sort of like team deathmatch, you have to do races, you have to do all these little games to earn money, and you'd earn a few grand a job.
Yep.
Now it's like, all right, do one heist. Oh, here's 400 grand. Congrats. And that took you 15 minutes.
Oh, cool.
So it's all the original games haven't been changed to scale with this. So everything that used to be there has no players because no one has a reason to play it. They're gonna choose the thing that gives them more money. So everyone just repeats this one heist where they sit in the plane the entire time and listen to dialogue and then get like 400k at the end.
Yeah.
Over doing something actually fun. Of course they're gonna choose that because it's a grindy game. No one likes fun.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's gone.
Yeah, and a lot of in-game economies do go that way. Like Hypixel Skyblock. There's so many things you can do in that game. For those of you who don't know, Hypixel Skyblock is the largest MMO on Minecraft. It's the largest MMO server on Minecraft.
Okay.
And when you play that, there's so many things you can do. Like there's stuff like Slayers, where they're like missions to like kill a whole bunch of shit and then the boss. Then you've got leveling up your skills. You've got quests from NPCs. Granted, there's not that many of them. There's things like fishing mini games where you can bring a fish that you caught up to this guy that lives on top of a mountain and he gives you a reward. No one does any of that because you can just farm to get the most money. You can
I don't know, man.
Pretty much
that fishing sounds super exciting.
Yeah, you catch a fish, but you don't reel it in. You jump up to the mountain and reel it in. And then the fish just comes flying up at this guy. And he gets it.
Sick.
That's it.
Hell yeah. Extreme fishing.
But no one does any of the shit that the developers actually put into the game, because they can just sit on their island and pretty much AFK farm sugarcane and have everything compact in their inventory automatically, and then after an hour sell it for 5 million coins. Like, there's just no point in doing anything besides farming or playing a dungeon run, which is fucking horrible in my opinion. Dungeons are boring. I mean, you do the same thing over and over again to get pretty much no loot for the chance at an RNG drop that gives you 100 mil.
Yeah. I hate that kind of stuff.
Like there's no meat to it.
There's no way I'm gonna like repeat something like 40 times in a game to get a random drop from a boss fight. There's a lot. Like, I don't know how people do it. Like, I mean, if you do it, like, good for you, dude. Like, I'm not ranting against you, but I couldn't possibly. Like, I've got a few of my friends will like sit on. One of my mates plays a lot of Borderlands, and he'll repeat one boss like 40 times to try and get this like drop from him.
Yeah,
and I'm like, how? I would lose attention on the second time. Like, I want to go do something else. I think that's probably just more me. Like, so I have a terrible attention span when it comes to games.
I wish I could say that I don't grind out stuff like that, but I totally do. I'm a grinder. Like, it took me 125 boss runs to get this one drop.
Shit.
125, and that's actually really good. The average is about 250 to 300 dungeon runs before you actually get this one drop.
See, so once it's more than like 3 or 4 times, it's a lost cause for me. Jesus Christ.
It's just not worth it.
Yikes, dude. I mean, yeah, like if you enjoy that, you enjoy that. Like, sick. But holy shit, I couldn't.
That's why I've really stopped playing it. All I do is collect my minions and then just leave. I have slaves working 24/7 for me.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. I have like
villages.
25 of them. They're like midgets almost. And all they do is dig up snow and then put it back down.
Sick.
They dig it up again and they put it back down.
And you get money for that?
Yeah, I do. I get lots of money.
Huh. Yeah. No, I feel like it's definitely in like the last 5-10 years, it's just been this change to the mentality of gamers, where it's like, instead of let's play for this for fun, it's like let's play this to be the best, or let's get the best stuff. And
yeah, games have definitely become a lot more grindy these days. Like, you have to really grind to actually get good stuff.
Yeah, bloody World of Warcraft and shit like that back in the day. But...
Oh fuck! I'd never wanted to get into World of Warcraft because I knew I would get addicted to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I played it once. I didn't play more than like 15 minutes of it. I'm just that bad with like grindy stuff. As soon as I have to grind, I lose interest. Like, no, just like make me work for it, yeah, but within reason, you know?
Yeah, like making stuff hard to obtain is good, because if you give everything to the player on a silver platter, no one's gonna find it challenging.
Oh yeah, and you know that grind, well, the work you put in towards getting the thing is generally the majority of your gameplay hours. But I feel like it's more than just, you know, oh, you have to defeat this boss, and 1 out of 400 times it drops a good gun.
Yeah, no,
I feel like there's something more they could do to make that more interesting, surely.
Yeah, they can definitely adding RNG drops and then having like one RNGesus drop is just pretty shit. I reckon you should be guaranteed a drop after a really hard boss fight. Like if you can't beat the boss until like you've already got like end game gear, then I don't think you should have to fight that boss 150 times over to get this one item that's actually worth it.
Yeah.
That just...
Some people love that, though.
Yeah.
It's...
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could never do that, besides the fact that I already did it. I don't know. I don't want to do it again.
I played a lot of GTA Online. I can't say anything. I guess it just it has to be like that type of game that just like you click with and you're like, all right, that's it. This is my part-time job now.
This is what I do. This is what I do now. My real money is totally tied to my in-game money.
Oh yeah, like I'd log on every day to go do my car deliveries on GTA. At one point, I just sat back and I'm like, this is a job. What am I doing?
What the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm having a job inside of a video game.
What am I gonna go do? Like buy a bloody bunker so that I can do more jobs?
Oh boy.
What am I doing? So then I got up and I went and played something else grindy, I guess.
All right, you know what time it is?
Let's wrap it up time.
It's time for some comments.
Hey.
Caleb Keller talking about the YouTube algorithm. The algorithm is so bad. I once got an ad on YouTube that was the entire Lego movie.
Jesus, really? Yikes.
I've never gotten that advert, but I want it.
Is his comment like? Do you know what it's in regards to? Like
11.
Was it
11 minutes 12 seconds of our last episode?
Okay, it wasn't like when we were like ragging on Raid Shadow Legends or something that it was a Raid Shadow Legends ad. Was it?
It might be.
Shit.
It might be. It might be us talking about how shitty Raid Shadow Legends is.
I've had that before. Like I was watching a video on Raid Shadow Legends and they were absolutely bagging it, and then Raid Shadow Legends play for free now, and I'm like, wow, okay, all right. They're choosing a very interesting audience here.
All right,
like
I listened.
The algorithm's just fucking weird.
I listened to like 5 seconds of it, and it's us talking about how shitty the algorithm is and how it like it like demonetizes shit that doesn't need to be demonetized, and catches all the and just leaves all the shit that it's supposed to demonetize alone.
Yeah, one of our tangents.
Yeah, one of the tangents on how YouTube's algorithm for detecting shit that's against TOS is really bad.
Like that one time that I used the royalty-free song and it gave me like a copyright notice because someone else had used that royalty-free song in their video. It wasn't even the maker of the song. It was just some other like Let's Player or something.
That reminds me of
It's just not worth fighting against.
No, it's not. That reminds me of when I used to do like commentary videos on one of my other YouTube channels that I abandoned. And I recorded like CS:GO surfing footage, and it was on this one particular map.
Doing the leafy strat,
the leafy, yeah.
Hey.
And then my whole channel got demonetized because someone else had used that footage in like their video that got monetized, and so apparently that whole map was their intellectual property now.
Oh shit. That's whack, dude.
But
it didn't pick up on that time that someone just directly re-uploaded my videos. No, it didn't detect that. It didn't notify me about that. I found that myself. But no, if I used the same like royalty-free music that I had the rights to use that someone else used, no.
If you use non-copyright sounds, Alan Walker's Fade, that's a DMCA right there.
Holy shit!
Because it's definitely copyrighted. It's not in the name or anything.
Oh yeah.
Like,
if you use that now, I feel like you couldn't get away with it because it's just that like well known.
You might, but the algorithm doesn't actually know what's well known or not. It just knows, hey, this has been used in a copyrighted video. It must be copyrighted material.
This has been used in 200,000 other videos.
It's probably copyrighted material.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a strike instead of everyone else. Why not?
Alright, so we'll wrap up for this week. You have any more comments or queries that you'd like to bring up before we shut her down?
You forgot the intro.
I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I forgot to introduce us.
Who are you?
Who am I?
I was thinking of just like yelling out during like the middle of what you were saying. I'm like, who are you?
Just fucking running to the other side of the room. Hey, who are you?
Who are you? All right. Well, I suppose we'll do that with the outro, right?
We'll do it with the outro this time.
We'll be mystery men until then.
Yeah, no one knows who I am. My voice is very plain.
Oh yeah.
And thank you.
Then is now.
And then is now, yes. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Jay, lover of Lego and player of BioShock Infinite.
I'm Dylan, lover of not being prepared for these lover things you do every episode.
I change mine every episode, and it's just something that I'm looking at on my desk.
I'm always just so unprepared for it. Wasn't the last episode was like a slice of cheese or something?
Yeah, slice of plastic cheese.
Yeah. But yeah, where can they find you, Jay?
They can find me at twitter.com/Hypix01. That's HEPIX01. Where can they find you, Doll?
Oh, well, they can find me running from the police for multiple accounts of
war crimes.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure. It could be that, or it could be the other thing. I don't know. But you can also find me. You can also find me at twitter.com/Dolzo_ or youtube.com/C/Dolzo.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Hey.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you all next week. Have a good one.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Give us a like. Turn on the notifications.
All that bullshit.
All that shit. Chuck us a follow on Twitter. You might catch me tweeting once every 7 months because I forget Twitter exists.
Hell yeah. Comment some questions.
Comment some questions. We'll answer them on stream, or on podcast, I guess. And if you don't want us to answer it on podcast, then we can always just reply to your comment.
Right. Hell yeah.
Have a good one. See you later.
Catch you later. Yay.